Okay, it's now time for Metroid, the original Metroid. 100% Up+A, I'm not really sure what that means, but I'm sure it'll get explained by Dragon Duck. We've also got Kenta here commentating.
Hey.
Do you want to just count it down when you're ready? And
Yep.
you can start whenever.
I'm gonna do a hard reset for this, because the RNG for this game is a fickle mistress. And I can start it from a consistent position if my reset stick will turn the power on. That'll be great. Alright, so... Okay, it'll be in 3, 2, 1, go. Don't worry about that password I just entered. All it does is take Samus's suit off. This is how I do my runs.
Nice.
D-Dark's creepy, what?
Don't worry about that. Also note, without the suit, she can still morph into a ball. Don't question it.
By the way, for the people wondering what Up+A means in this category, if you hit Up+A at any point on a second controller while you're playing Metroid, you will warp back to the closest elevator, like you had died, I believe.
Yeah, it treats it as a death. It only works when you pause the game. So I've got a second controller handy, just ready to do that when I need to. There's a bunch of them in this route. But the beginning of the run's actually pretty much identical to the other 100% route. It doesn't start changing until North Air. So if you see me ever do 100% without Up+A, you know what the beginning looks like. During that climb there, the rippers on the left side, the white ones anyway, whatever direction they're moving when I scroll them off screen, determines the direction that the next one will be moving when it comes on screen, which is kind of weird, but I can understand why it would probably work like that, just based on the memory and everything. Okay, good. Get some good energy drops. I should be okay to get Ice Beam without too much trouble.
From what I remember, back when people started speedrunning this, wasn't save warping kind of controversial?
It's its own category. That's basically all it's ever been. I mean, at first I don't think anybody actually did it, and then someone decided to try it. And it just kind of became its own category because it saves so much time.
Yeah, I understand it. A similar thing happened recently with Metroid 2. I found this old secret world site that described a workable route with some warps, with some select glitch warps. Do you know of those?
Yes. It's the one that despawns the blocks, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can use those to create a couple of door transitions where they shouldn't be, and you can just warp between areas. Like, it's not major breaks, but it's interesting because all it does is skips out a bunch of in-between area travel time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it skips the travel time between the first and the second area, and then between the second and the third area. And then it also lets you skip that long walk up to the Queen after the Omega Metroids. So it works out pretty well. It only really skips boring parts of the run anyways.
Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. I got hit more than I should have.
Yikes.
Oh, no! Oh, why am I alive? I should be dead, but I'm not.
Oh my god.
The bugs were in a position where they that last one should have killed me right
second one,
there.
I was like, my jaw dropped when I saw that second one did not hit you.
It should have.
Holy fuck.
Well, safe strats.
Yeah. Beat percent. Metroid 2 memes.
Beeping strats. Oh my god.
When you say it like that, it sounds more like someone censoring an expletive. Those strats.
Okay, so I don't know the setup for doing the jump the controller head did yesterday. I saw him do it. I know the principle behind it. I just haven't had a chance to practice it at all. So I just do it my
Do you mean-
way.
Do you mean the
Thankfully, energy
unmorph
tank.
jump for that thing?
What was that?
Do you mean like the unmorph jump for that thing?
Yeah. I just haven't had a chance to really play around with it.
That's one of the things that can do in my own casual runs of the game just because I've practiced it.
Right.
It
yeah.
was just like a random thing.
I mean, I have a setup for it that gets me up there pretty easily.
Yeah. We have a similar thing like that in Metroid 2 for Missile Pack. Except we actually take damage from the block spawning on top of us to damage boost us up to it.
Yeah, that's what I just did right there. Oh, come on, I need missile luck now. This is the one part of the run that actually needs missile luck.
Like you said, RNG in this game is a fickle mistress.
It very much so is. And the way drops
It is
work in
being
this
very,
game
very fickle
is
right now.
Kinda strange.
It's dumb.
Oh, there's one missile tank, finally. There's two.
Alright, one more.
There we go. Okay, that wasn't terrible. Wasn't great, but wasn't
Yay!
Alright, so, when it comes to drops, whenever you pass through a door, there's two numbers generated. There's one for energy and one for missiles. Whatever that number is the maximum number of pickups you can get in that room. I don't think energy can be 0, but I know missiles can very well be 0. I've seen it happen. So if I'm not getting missile drops, I actually need to exit and re-enter the room in order to reset that number.
I remember that now. Because I actually, I needed to get back to it. I used to hack Metroid 1. And I remember looking into the RNG engine and finding that really weird shit.
Yeah.
Because eventually I want to hack the RNG in this game so that it works like it does in, like, the latter Metroid games. Where, like, you get what you need. But I couldn't figure out how to do it, but I just remember looking into the disassembly and being like, what is this? Why?
It's coded very strangely.
Very
Such as NES games. Okay, good bounce. Haven't got any drops, though.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a
So I'm assuming we're grabbing Varia right now then?
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact 100% route. I know the general idea.
Nope, that wasn't gonna make it. This jump is awful.
Wait, did the waiver just not spawn?
Yep. I had too many enemies in the previous room. Oh, that'll make it.
Oh, yeah. That.
Okay, so that jump is really,
Yeah,
really stupid. On frame... After the bomb explodes, on frames 21, 26, 30, 31, and 35, it will guarantee that I make the jump. In addition, on frames 22, 27, 32, 36, and 40, I might make it if the subpixels allow me to do it. That jump is awful.
Essentially, bombs in this game are dumb.
It's just the way it determines vertical speed. Like, for some reason, it just oscillates instead of being like a straight up at, you know, the closer to the peak of the or the closer to frame 30, I guess, you are, the higher you go. It's just like weird frames let you go higher, and I don't understand it at all. Alright, so now we've picked up everything in Brinstar except one energy tank, which will be saved for much later, and we're gonna head off to Norfair. I'll take that missile tank, thank you.
Yeah, I figured we would be doing, Ridley first, since Kraid's such an asshole in this game.
Oh shit! Come on.
Wait, sorry.
Ah, I
I shouldn't be
bounced.
swearing.
I thought I was gonna get the perfect fall.
No!
I was
Oh.
like 2 or 3 pixels too far to the right.
Wah, 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 wah.
Getting that fall is extremely difficult, primarily because of the very top of it, where I had the Ripper and the Red Jeemer together. That's only a couple frames of leeway there. Ah, he's gonna be too high for that. Was trying to get that bug into a position where I could damage boost off of it and through the Jeemer, so I didn't have to wait for it. But it's really, really specific on how it's done. And I didn't have the correct height on the bug for it. Okay, so the route I'm going to use through North there is basically going to mimic the TAS route, hopefully, provided I can hit the second screen wrap properly. I was practicing it earlier and got it once out of 6 tries, if that says anything.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes.
It's
He was
not even
talking to me
a
about it
hard
earlier.
screen wrap either. I just kept
Inconsistency.
messing it up. It's not even inconsistent. I was just making really dumb errors. I'm not that practiced at it, and I do want to give shoutouts to Mitch Flower Power, who found the setup for it, but I'll talk about it a little more when I get to it. It's probably another at least 5-6 minutes off. Maybe a little more.
I see in chat they're talking a lot about like the issues this game has and why a lot of people don't like it, and I will say that like playing Zero Mission first helped me with this game so much because I already pretty much had the mental map of how the planet was laid out.
Yeah.
Because that was how I first played it, was playing it after unlocking it in Zero Mission.
I'm guessing that's how a lot of people played it, unless they're old like me.
I've got it on cart now.
Okay, screen wrap number 2. Okay, got it
You got it?
perfectly.
Nice.
That one's not that hard to do. There's another variant of it that's slightly faster, but really, really inconsistent. It requires pixel-perfect placement when you get up by the door. The TAS does that one. It's about 1 second faster, I think. But obviously I don't do it because of it's really, really inconsistent in real time.
That's actually a glitch I've never seen before. Every day you learn something new. So, do you know exactly why it is that, like, in this game you just get randomly stuck in the lava?
Because it's basically treating it, like, kind of like the Varia jump, as I call it, where the amount of height you get off the jump oscillates, and sometimes you just won't get the right height. It, like, treats it kind of like you're in midair.
That's so dumb.
It is. You're not supposed to be able to get in there, dude. What are you doing over here?
He's following you. He needs you. That is true, though. I've never seen that pattern happen before. Well, it had to happen once. I don't think we've had I've never seen this happen before this marathon.
Wow, okay. That was just me being dumb.
Hey, well, he's... Oh. I was...
2, 3, pause 4. I have a setup for getting up through those blocks like that. I count my jumps to know exactly where I am. Oh, God, he's shooting at me. Fine, I'll go down here. And then, like this. Improv strats. Oh, hey, a missile, I'll take that.
No, just don't fall down here.
Yeah, falling down in this area, there's a couple of them you can kind of bomb jump your way out of, but since I don't have high jump, there's a few of them that it's impossible for me to get out of them if I fall into them.
Because you're not supposed to be able to get back here without at least passing by high jump.
Exactly.
Like, you can choose to not have it, but you have to pass by it to get back here within the traditional game route.
Yeah. The only reason that we don't even attempt that route is pretty much well, I have a theoretical route that I had to kind of nix because I realized it requires too much missile luck. The idea would be after bombs, between bombs and getting into Norfair, I'd need to get 5 missile drops, which is,
Leash.
yeah.
As someone who plays this game regularly, casually, fairly often, I know how terrible that is. I don't even need the speedrunners to know how bad that is.
Okay. You can not shoot the blocks, that's fine. Thankfully, that means the blocks will respawn earlier, and this game is weird in the sense that it will only allow 10 blocks to be broken at any one time. If I try to break any more, they just won't break. Like right there, I just shot through that one because the other ones hadn't respawned yet.
I think what it is, I think it's memory limitations.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
So, because it has to remember which blocks to respawn. So you're already throwing all the stuff that's like loading, like tiles and stuff, into the RAM. By the way, that's an Up+A save warp, or I keep calling it save warp, death warp.
Yeah, it's good enough either way.
So now he's at he gets reset to 30 health, which makes it a little risky, but he saves a ton of time that he gets all the way up to the top of Norfair again without any real time waste.
This one's actually not like a huge time saver because it's a long trek to get back down to where I want to be anyway. It's just it's a small time saver, but it is a bit more risky. And the screen wrap I was having trouble with earlier is coming right up. So I'm only gonna attempt it once because if I fail it, it's faster to just take the normal route. And I don't want to waste too much time trying it, but I do want to at least make one shot at it in hopes that I get it.
So now we're gonna get high jump, like I was mentioning earlier. Then I assume we're gonna grab the rest of the items in this part of Norfair.
Yes.
Including screw attack, which will make it a lot less risky of a run overall.
Yeah, screw attack's pretty busted in this game. Alright, however, first I have to do a couple more
You can one-shot
jumps.
anything except for bosses.
Oh, bull game. I was clearly over the top of that. There we go.
What the hell? That's so bullshit.
Okay, at least got it the second time first try. Those ones aren't anywhere near as bad as the Varia jump. They're significantly less tight.
Some other stuff that I know is RNG is, depending on the save, literally it depends on the game, if the sweeps jump high or low.
That is fixed when you turn the game on, or when
that's
you
what I was
reset
saying.
and die. That's one of the things that I can predict by making sure I start from a power cycle. But it changes whenever I do an Up+A, and it's not fully predictable, though it seems to be somewhat predictable.
Well, luckily, all you have to do, it's all of them do the same thing, right? Like, it's not individual basis.
There's a difference between the purple ones and the red ones, but that's the only difference. They have 3 jump heights, really high, medium, and low, and they can be any one of the 3.
But they'll all be stuck on that one.
Of a particular color, yes. Like, the reds and the purples can be different, but that's the only difference.
Yes. That's still good, though, because all you gotta do is see one to know how the rest of them are gonna work.
Exactly. I am so not used to having high jump through here. 100% without Up+A comes through here. It still doesn't have high jump yet. I get that after all of this with a really odd screen wrap. I'm gonna be doing an even more odd one if I hit it. Right after I get this energy tank down here.
Where is it at? Exactly, the screen wrap.
It'll be coming. I gotta pick up an energy tank over down one screen from this, and then I'll be doing it.
Yeah, I know the E-tank, so it looks like red and purple are both on high.
E-Tank. And we're gonna attempt this screen wrap once.
Let's go. Everyone prepare either Cryogasm or Failfish, depending on how you think this is gonna go.
Okay, almost got stuck in the wall there. I got out of it, though. One, two... Got it!
Yeah, let's go!
I am so glad I hit that.
It's cool to see. The random screen transition, though,
Yeah, what it is I was still in a... the game still acknowledged that I was in a...
a vertical room.
Yeah, and when you go into a horizontal room, it just wraps infinitely around the sides of it.
Yeah.
But if there's a door on one side, and you hit that position on the side of the room, it'll just be like, oh, you're in a door. Let's do a door transition.
Yeah. I know a lot of this stuff from hacking the game. Like I said, there's been a lot of innovation in Metroid hacking recently. It's really cool stuff. Do you know they're actually adding slopes to this game?
Oh, wow, nice. I haven't really been paying too much attention to that. Oh god. Okay. I'm glad I get that E-Tank before coming down here, because everything here does 12 damage a hit with Varia. And this first missile tank I'm going
Ridley's
after...
a scary area.
This first missile tank I'm going after is, really out of the way. I usually take quite a bit of damage heading to it, so I'm really glad I hit that screen wrap first try, because otherwise I'd be running through here with 30 energy.
Yeah, if you're running here with 30 energy, you'd have to do some very, very safe strats.
I have to do that for most of the rest of it, because there's going to be an Up+A coming up here real shortly. This missile tank's just really far out of the way, and I do it first because I have the energy tanks.
Because this is the death corridor.
Yeah, I try to set up my Up+As around getting an E-Tank pretty quickly after I get it, or having a really short thing that I need to take care of, just so I don't end up in danger territory for too long. So now I'm actually going to go kill Ridley, but I'm going to take the route that goes to get the... Oh god, bad pattern. Really bad pattern.
Uh-oh.
Okay, safe strats.
Oh, yikes. None of them give a big health, please.
Yeah, I know. I got through them alive, though. That's the important part.
Mm.
Okay, so there's an invisible floor there I just jumped over. If you know which blocks it are, it's trivial. If you don't know which blocks are, you're probably gonna miss that E-Tank.
By the way, Test Zero, there actually is a Metroid 2 editor beginning to be worked on. Just to clear that up.
Okay, so I do an unmorph jump there because that jump with high jump is frame perfect, I mean. Without high jump, I think it's like 4 frames or something. But yeah, just doing an unmorph jump is way simpler, even though it's like fractions of a second slower.
Yeah. Yeah, that jump is the bane of my existence. Every time when I used to try to do 100% runs of this game, because I used to do 100% just back before I got into speedrunning on, officially, before I knew about all the different, sites for speedrunning and stuff like that, I used to, do routes on my own and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And, that jump was the bane of my fucking existence.
I think it was the bane of most people's
It just drove me. It just drove me so crazy. I would go as far to say it's the hardest jump in the game. I can hear the Ridley mashing already.
Alright, Ridley's down. That was a pretty decent fight, too. I got the fireball pattern I was expecting. Since I up A a few times, occasionally he'll, instead of doing the far pattern like that, he'll do a near pattern, which is about 15 or 20 seconds slower, because I actually have to keep switching sides to deal with the fireballs. But with the way I do the up A's, it's more often than not going to give me the good pattern.
Yeah, Ridley is harder in the Japanese version because he actually can use both patterns. But he's like the Squeets, he's locked in this one.
Yep. Alright, one more thing to do here in Ridley. Got one missile tank to go grab. It's a very short jaunt. I'm gonna hope I don't get hit too much. Okay, I didn't get hit at the beginning, that's a good start. Alright, that was good. I didn't even get hit at all. I'm just going to up A back to the elevator again, and that's Ridley done. And as soon as the music changes to indicate that I'm back in Norfair, I do another up A and get back to the beginning of Norfair. Because that saves a lot of running.
Yeah, you just literally skip all of Norfair.
But there's still a couple items I gotta grab in the upper right corner of Norfair, so I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah. You don't need to pick up both ice beams, right?
We do pick them both up because you basically need ice beam to get through Turian.
Yeah.
But wave beam is actually useful enough to be worth detouring for, mostly in Ridley, and for breaking multiple blocks at once.
And killing Ridley.
Yeah, that too. The damage from Ice Beam or Wave Beam doesn't matter versus bosses. They all do 1 damage.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Versus bosses, the beams all do 1 damage, missiles do 4 damage, and bombs and Screw Attack do 1 damage per hit. But they hit multiple times.
I didn't even know Screw Attack damaged bosses.
Oh yeah, I used it on Ridley to get through him, to get to the other side of him, and it does damage when I go through. That hit's fine. I've got a few hits I can take here without too much worry.
Just don't text awkward.
Do a little hop before going that door to scroll the screen a little bit extra. Saves a little bit of time because it scrolls a little bit faster when I'm in control of it.
Yeah, because that way it doesn't need to center the screen as much. I'm so glad they redesigned this area in Zero Mission. It would have been so awkward to be like, we have this brand new Metroid game, let's just shove 4 missile packs over here because why not?
Yeah, I know. They did at least keep the placement of Ice Beam up here, though.
Yes. Which I prefer to like any of the other locations of it. Oh, we got the color palette glitch on the lava. What causes that? I knew of it, but I don't remember what causes it.
It's from the red blocks on the side of the room. They just kind of bleed down into that area. At least that's how I understand it, anyway. Basically, as blocks scroll off the screen, their information is saved briefly. And if you scroll the screen fast enough, they'll do stuff like that. Oh hey, beeping percent. Usually you don't get hit twice there. No big
yeah, that was weird. It seemed like you had enough hits done.
Ooh,
or iframes rather. Hit stuns, freaking. That's a fighting game term.
Okay, one last wall to bomb through here. This is a really massive detour. This Up+A is gonna save. If it's not the most amount of time, it's gonna be close.
Well, wouldn't the most amount of time be like the trip back from Ridley?
Close. This one is a really long detour, especially since I have to bomb through that wall. Like, this is one of the biggest time savers for it. And I don't know why I started doing the setup for the Varia jump again. I just spaced it on having Ice Beam. But anyway, now we're done with Norfair. And again, when I hear the music change for Brinstar, I just do another Up+A. It takes me back to beginning of Brinstar, which is much, 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 much closer to the entrance to Kraid. I think I'm going to attempt the TAS route through here instead of doing my usual one.
Alright, so that makes sense. So I was wondering where Up+A and Brinstar sends you since there's not a start elevator, but
yeah, just put you
spawn makes sense.
Yeah, just put you right back at the beginning.
More of these alternate color palette glitches. I haven't seen more than one of them in a run before.
I'm used to seeing a lot of them at this point.
Best music in the game.
Quite so. Okay, so the enemies down here all do 10
you're just wrong.
So I'm going to try not to take too many, because I'm not getting an E-tank right off the bat.
Yeah, this area is not quite as hard as Ridley, but the boss is much harder.
Yeah, Kraid is a dick in this game. Okay, so my route would continue on past this point, and it would do another screen wrap. I'm gonna do the TAS route though because it's a bit more reliable. Even if I'm not that good at it.
That's really an interesting statement. The TAS route is more reliable than my normal route. In fact, I'm gonna say that's the first time I've ever heard that in a speedrun.
It's because mine does a really risky screen wrap, and it's really, really easy to get stuck in the wall when I do it. That's the biggest problem with it.
Okay.
I have to do it in standard 100%, and it's cost me a number of runs already. And I just don't want to accidentally get stuck in the wall and then have to... Well, even if I did, I'd just basically switch over to doing the TAS route. So it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but...
That area is such a troll. The fact that there's nothing beyond that missile tank.
Yeah. I'm glad they made good use of it in Zero Mission.
Yeah, Acid Run's cool. Even if everyone tries to skip him, because they're mean. They put a lot of work into designing that boss.
Okay, so I don't know the path to get down here without... I don't know the path to actually get down there without bouncing a bunch of times. One bounce is actually pretty good for me.
Nice. How exactly does morph jumping work in this game? Because it works in... Because we have a very similar morph jump in Metroid 2, but it's a little bit different. I know that.
Basically, just don't hold any... when you unmorph, just don't hit left or right at all.
Okay.
And then just hit jump, and you can jump at any point. All the missiles, holy shit.
Yeah, I noticed. The game's like, here, now that you don't need any of these missiles, have them all!
In addition, the TAS rope prevents me from having to go up that pillar, which is good.
Beautiful.
I hate that pillar so much.
worst room in the game. The other one was the worst jump in the game. That's the worst room in the game. It's infuriating.
Okay, I got the freeze just right. Good crate fight. Froze the piece of lint that I wanted to right off the bat.
Nice.
But one item left to get. This energy tank hidden in the wall. And now we'll Up+A.
So is that all the secret is? Just falling from the right?
Fall if you have to be up on the top platform, and you have to be touching the platform. Like, you have to let yourself come to a stop before you morph, or rather after you morph, you have to come to a stop before you roll off the edge. Otherwise, your subpixels won't be in the right place.
Yeah, because I know that that stupid energy tank is incredibly precise. And now that we grab the last E-tank to fill back up, and then we're gonna head to Turian.
Oh, good, I got it first try. That jump is so stupidly precise.
Yeah, like, how are you supposed to get this in the original game? I've never been sure.
You freeze that waver, or the scree, when you're coming from the right. They don't intend for you to be going for it from the left. But you just let the...
Yeah, they have the,
You just let the scree come down, and you use him as a... You freeze him and use him as a stepping stone to get up there.
Do we grab long beam?
Yes. It's the last item I pick up.
Okay.
The L is for last. Okay, wow, I have so many missiles. I'm gonna be going into Mother Brain's chamber with 105, which is way more than I'm used to. I'm normally used to going in there with around 85 to 90.
That's if you don't get any drops.
Yeah. Well, I don't stop to pick up drops from Metroids anyway. I don't actually kill any, for that matter. Not really any need in 100%, since I should always have all the missiles I need when I walk in.
Fair enough.
Okay, so no bridge skip for me. I actually killed both bosses, so we're just gonna do this and make a bridge.
Yeah, that's a trick that I want to work on, because I'm actually looking into speedrunning Metroid 1.
The new bridge skip is really precise. It's really difficult, too.
Now we have you can't shoot down, so let's place all the really dangerous enemies right under you.
Yep. Also, enemies that will hit you before you even get through the door. Those are great.
Yep. Because NES games are balanced masterpieces. They had the right idea, at least. That's right. I forgot. You don't even have to kill the Metroids.
Nope. That got added in Zero Mission. Don't question what just happened to that Metroid. Hey, I didn't see you bounce me back on the platform.
That's a new one. Oh, that one got you when you were halfway through the door.
It's fine. That always happens with the way I do that. Alright, Mother Brain's chamber. The laggiest room in the game.
I'd like to hope that everyone knows when to call time. Everyone knows this game. How many missiles is it if the Zabatites can't heal?
8 missiles, if they don't heal at all. Oh shit, come on. Get up there.
This room is so laggy. Which is actually really helpful for dodging stuff. I've always wondered, why do you think it is that when Samus gets hit, like, everything delags for a second?
Shit, that was not what I was trying to do. It worked, though. Keep messing that up.
What are you trying to do?
I keep trying to go back and forth between the platforms. This fight is actually easier with without high jump because you don't over jump or tank by too much. Yes, door glitch.
Low on iron missiles. Nice.
Oh nope, not perfect climb. Hit one ceiling. Wow, missed a jump too. Alright. And time.
Alright, Dito.
41-16, I think.
Wow, that's really good.
I think it went for a bit late, I'm not sure. TeamViewer was kind of having some issues, but...
That's only like 20 seconds off my PB on that category.
Which I'm
Nice.
assuming is world record.
I don't know. I've never really checked to see if anybody else has done it, but that was actually a real... That went way better than any of my practice has all week.
Well, at least you didn't use up the good runs in practice.
I'm actually really pleased with that run. So...
Yeah, that was some really good stuff, D-Darch.
Yeah, so we'll let the ending play out, and then we'll move to set up for Metroid 2.
Ooh, Metroid 2? Showing where the origins of AM2R came from?
That's the game I speedrun, though, not this time. Empty Eyes got that by himself.
Hey, Empty Eye's Empty Eye's the best at it right now, and he has his own style of commentary that just kind of works for him. So I can understand him wanting to do it solo. Also, shoutouts to my internet for actually cooperating today.
Yeah, it was scary at the beginning there with the mumble glitch.
That, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
That happened before we actually went live with it. It didn't happen.
Yo, 1,500 plus viewers? Let's go.
Nice.
Damn.
Very nice. Get hyped for some Metroid 2.
Best Metroid speedrun, Kappa not Kappa.
Alright, that is it from me. The music's
No offense,
done.
D-Darch.
The end. Thanks for watching, guys, and get ready for some
Alright.
Metroid 2 with Empty Eye.
So yeah, let's switch over to setup.
Everyone beware of the other Metroid. Because this ending totally makes sense.
Right, hopefully the music doesn't do that